it's a pity. Those people should not have left South Africa. They should have stayed here and given the opportunity with their talents to help developing the country, create jobs, and create a strong economy.
Well, what can be done, do you think, then, to uplift the previously disadvantaged black people?
Yes, that is a very important question. I'm looking sometimes, when we drive into George, and I see the young black people coming from the homelands, sitting here in some sort of housing schemes without work. I think a proper reversal of policies should take place. A proper reversal to see what can be done to create work opportunities.
In 1986, Mr. Botha told the House of Assembly,
"We can only get somewhere if the first world economy in this country is allowed to adopt a policy of upliftment towards the third world economy. Secondly, we can only get somewhere if the white leadership is not undermined. And we can only get somewhere if the safety of the whites in South Africa is not undermined."
Pessimists in South Africa and elsewhere, they are warning that we may be heading for a Zimbabwe-type situation. Are you more optimistic?
No. I want to say this. Sometimes I wonder whether the pessimists are not right. Now what's going to happen to Zimbabwe, I can't say. All I know is that there's a lack of proper development there. They admit it themselves. So it's not out of the question that South Africa could eventually land there. Because there is real corruption in South Africa. And I had a black minister here from one of the homelands a while ago. And he asked me, what do I think of the South African situation? And I said to him, you know, there's only one type of election where you start from the top to create, and that is a grave. While the best form of development is to start at the bottom. And I still believe we must start at the bottom. Create jobs. Create opportunities. This story of affirmative action should be abolished. This black empowerment should be abolished. It should be abolished as soon as possible. And cooperation should take place.
Corruption, Mr. Botha, among politicians and civil servants. It is so rife today that it verges on the ridiculous. Yet it's often claimed that it was as bad, if not worse, during National Party rule, but that there was a massive cover-up.
No, that's not correct. In the days of a Minister of Finance, such as the late Mr. Tlasi Havenga, he was world-renowned for his capabilities and for his decent way of dealing with the finances of the country. After him, Dr. Dunjas became the Minister of Finance. It is true that in any country where you have human government, there from time to time originate corruptive practices. But the question is, when you find out where the corruption takes place, whether you are prepared to deal with it.
But did you people try to find out, or was there a cover-up, do you think?
No, we didn't try to cover up. We actually fought and acted against corruption when it became known to us. I can mention a few examples to you, where eventually a cabinet minister landed in jail. Yes.
And after 50 years in politics, Mr. Botha, how wealthy are you?
You're referring to me?
Yes.
Well, all I can tell you is this house where we're sitting here, I bought from a man who lived here with his wife, and I had to take a loan. I had to make a loan at Sambo, the then Sambo, who disappeared since then. And I paid off monthly basis the real amount that I owed them for this house. I've never become wealthy. I've never become a member of the wealthy club.
A question frequently asked, Mr. Botha. Via the TRC hearings and a multitude of other reports, we have heard of murders, torture, and other heinous acts by branches of the security forces during National Party rule. For example, the deeds perpetrated at Vlakplaas. Were you or any of your cabinet ever aware of such cruelties taking place, and if not, why?
Now let me say this. I speak now on was the knowledge of what happened before me. The late Dr. Verwoerd would never have given a leave for people to commit murders and bad actions against South African citizens. The same applies to Foster. Foster was against it. But, and I differed with him on some occasions. But as a cabinet, even under my prime ministership or presidentship, I would never have granted leave for such actions. When it became known, the necessary steps were taken. What happened at the Truth Commission, I can't speak for that because they subpoenaed out me to appear before him. I called them a circus. And it's well known that eventually I landed in court because of my attitude not to appear before them. And they found me guilty with the necessary conclusions from their decision. I appealed to the Supreme Court in Cape Town, and I won the case.